Everybody, Carol Siddle here with Junk Journal Maniac. Hope everybody's having a good evening. Let me see. Today was my last day of work for the week, so I'm set for the weekend. Me and my daughter are going to go to where my sister lives, which is only about 30 minutes away, on Sunday, because she hasn't seen the baby yet, because she's older and she doesn't drive that well anymore. So we're gonna go down, show her the baby, pick her up because it's probably gonna rain. She won't drive in bad weather at all. And then go to a new restaurant down where she lives to eat for lunch. So looking forward to that. Just a girls' day. I think we're gonna have a good time. And she has a new kitchen. Well, she has a new kitchen because probably been 2 months. 2 months? We had a really bad freeze here. Like, it just plummeted. And her pipes in between her first story and her second story froze. The water froze up in the pipes and they busted and flooded her kitchen. Oh gosh, she called me. She was so upset. But she has a really old house and she really needed a new kitchen. I mean, I'm not kidding you. It was bad. She needed a new kitchen. So they got it all done. They got the kitchen done, through the insurance. She's just ecstatic. I mean, it's just perfect for her. It's just very clean, minimal country. And that's what she likes. So I'm really happy for her. So she's excited. I've seen it. I've gone down there and seen it. But she's really excited to have her niece come see it. So that'll be a fun day. And that's on Sunday. So in the meantime, I got the first... Oh, what are you doing here? Oh, the first signature done. That's all decorated. And it's kind of a little largemouth there. So I'm going to get out my little thing here. So I've kind of stuck stuff in here so I can do this a little bit quicker, not make you guys just like, oh, come on. And then when I get this done, probably tomorrow, because I'm off tomorrow, so probably tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to do a real quick little flip through. And also this will be for sale. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. I went to talk and I sucked the air in. Don't you hate when that happens? You're like, whoop. I went the wrong way. God. Oh, if weird things are going to happen, they're going to happen to me. That is the story of my life. So I'm just going to go through here, get this ephemera in here. Because I'm like, you guys are probably like going, oh my God, Carol, just get over the rose journal. So I'm going to get over the rose journal because I'm kind of getting over the rose journal. Although it is pretty and I do love it. And it was something really different for me. It wasn't farm. It wasn't steampunk. It wasn't grungy, which is kind of my style. I just wanted something pretty and springy and, really nice looking. And I had fun with it. I had a lot of fun with this. So, let's see. Got me a nice clean cloth here. It was fun to do, and it's really pretty. And I hope whoever decides to buy this journal really enjoys writing in it and doing things. So, what was this here? Oh, this goes on here. I'll get back to that. Okay, I needed something to put in here. I don't think it was going to be this. Although that's pretty, but I just don't feel like it shows off enough. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. That page deserved that. Okay, and then I've got this page, or little pocket here. Let me move this up a little bit. that I collaged on with this pretty ribbon and all that. So let me get some glue on here. I'm watching my granddaughters tonight, although they're 15, 17. They really don't need a whole lot of watching anymore. I mean, 15 and 13. Why did I say 17? I have no clue. They're upstairs watching a movie. So, oh, don't. Totally forgot what I was doing. See, I get to talking and then it's like, screw up. I think I got it. Gotta blow on that a little bit. I didn't, because I'm putting a tag behind here. So I don't want it. I don't want glue on that part of it. Just on the sides and the bottom. So yeah, I'm watching them tonight. Took them to Chick-fil-A for dinner. I don't know if everybody has Chick-fil-A across the country. I don't know. It's a Georgia. I mean, it started out in Georgia. But, man, it's good. That and Huey Magoo's. I don't know if y'all have Huey Magoo's. They're both pretty good. But the girls love Chick-fil-A. It's just really premium food. And that's their treat. My daughter, my granddaughter, the youngest one, for 3 days has been doing tryouts for color guard for the football team, and found out today she made it. So that was really exciting. Go Alex. So she's just beside herself. Okay, now this one, isn't that pretty? I don't know if you can see my light is not the best in here. I lost the remote. My fan and my light are connected, and it came with the remote control 2 years ago when we moved into this house, and I lost the remote. I don't know where it went. I don't know how I lost it, because it never leaves this room, and this room is only 11 by 13, something like that. It's not that big. So I have been looking for that. I took the mattress off my bed, saying, because I've got an adjustable bed, saying somehow it must have jumped under the mattress. Nope, not there. So we've got a little spot there for her, and then we got a spot here. That looks really pretty there. And you know me, I'm going to leave that one plain. I think I might leave this plain because it has a lot of lines in it, so it's perfect for writing. Okay, we did that. And then this fabric flip is going to go on this page. Oh, it's starting to get empty. So anyhow, it was real sunny, beautiful this morning. Now it's all rainy again. It's that time of the year. That time of the year. So the azaleas have been blooming. I'm waiting for the dogwoods to start because they're so pretty. And the field mice are obviously out because our cat, my daughter says he's my cat when he's done something wrong. So, he brought us a present of a little mouse, and it was on the door stoop. And I'm like, okay, thank you, Barker. You know, I don't blame the cat because he's a hunter by nature. He's an animal. He's just doing his thing and loving on his family the way that he knows how. So I had to just go take a hole and throw it in there. He was like, what are you doing with my catch? He watched me the whole time. Well, he didn't watch me. He glared at me the whole time I was burying this poor little mouse. I feel so sorry for the little mouse. I'm like, I was apologizing to the thing while I was burying it. I'm so sorry Parker killed you. I hope the rest of your family's okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, I don't know. I just don't know. Okay, and I've got picked out a few things. I don't know if I'm going to need to make more ephemera for this or not. I really don't know. I think that's a little too pale. I've got this, but I'm going to clip this over a page. Or maybe this way. Wait a minute. Did I? And this and... Oh, I did it on this page. I don't want to do two of them back to back like that. I was looking for a place for this because this is that envelope I made on one of my previous videos. And it's just really thick. So I just put it on there and somebody can stamp or add what they want to that page. I love how the green goes with these little, they're kind of blue-green flowers. I have something to go here. Was it this? It might have been this, but I'd have to cut this on the sides to make it fit. It's a postcard. It's vintage, but it's just big. Among the vast eternal hills where the nature's voice in rapture thrills. That's really pretty. I'm not sure I like the red. I mean, it's obviously not winter, but I'm not sure if I like the red on this page. So I've got some text. So maybe this was the one I was thinking would go here. This is a belly band. This was it. I think this was it. Boy, George, I think this was it. Okay, so get these down a little bit. So belly band it is. This was from a masterboard that I had made. Oh, don't stop on me now. Come on. I know you can, there we go. It's getting low. I need to fill it. I need to fill you up. Is that what you're telling me? I made this masterboard a long time ago. And then just recently cut it up into pockets and belly bands and all kinds of stuff. Which is a lot of fun to do with these. They're fun to make anyhow. They're just fun to make. It's a good way to use my scraps on the other side because on the back side of the front side, I use it's a good way to use up my neutral scraps, I call them. You know, from coffee dyed paper or something that's simple like this. It's a good place to use those. Okay, might give that a minute to dry and then come back and I think this is the one I had to go in here. I think that was it. Maybe this scrap, because I think that's just pretty with the yellow. You know, because this has got yellow. It is, but I'm going to have to actually cut this a bit. You know what? Why don't I trim the corners while I'm at it? Make it look prettier. Okay, let's get this pretty. So, our golden doodle got groomed today. So we can see his eyes again. He's got the hugest brown eyes, like most doodles do. But some of them have blue eyes or green eyes. It depends on the breed they're mixed with. And he was mixed with a golden retriever. So, hence big brown eyes. And I'm like, oh, you can see again. Because his hair gets so long, you can't see anything. I swear that dog. He is a handful. Oh, doodles are a handful. They're a wackadoodle. But you look at them and you just can't help but love them. You just can't. It's, if you can, I don't know how you do it. Because they just give you those faces and they just don't know mean. They don't know mean. They don't know, you know, he just does not have a mean bone in his body. And he loves the new baby. He's convinced that that baby was brought for him. He will sleep with, not sleep with her, but if she's on the bed, he'll get up there and he'll put his paws up on her and like, this is my baby. What you doing with it? Okay, I was going to wait, but I think that'll work. Get a couple in there. Yeah. I think I'm going to leave this page, but I wanted, this was the edge. It was, for some reason, it came out a little bit shorter when I cut it. Not sure what I did. It's good this way, but it's just how it was printed. So I wanted to put, I need this for this one. I wanted to put a line of washi tape on here. Just to kind of keep it so it just didn't have that weird white edge. I like to glue my washi tape down on big pieces like this. Little pieces, don't worry about it too much, but now I have this one. Also have solid colors. I've got this. Okay. I have this. Just kind of pretty. And I've got this. And this is fabric. These two on the end are, I think I like this one. Because I've got butterflies and letters and words, but this is actually fabric washi. I can't even remember where I got it, but I really love it. I'm gonna have to figure that out someday because I'm gonna run out of it eventually. But I don't use it all the time because I love it so much. Okay. So I got the roses climbing the right direction. Okay. Oh. Okay, that. Just needed that little something on that side. So, is that little piece off? I've got little pieces all over my desk. I'm gonna cut them off. Okay. Georgia girl. Georgia girl. Alaska girl. Cuban girl. I don't know. A little bit of everything. If I'm a little bit of anything, I guess I'm a, oh my gosh. Like what you call it. My first thought was a scoundrel, not a scoundrel. Although don't mess with my family, you might see a different side of me. But like a mixed breed dog, just a Heinz 57 kind of person. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Kind of add something to that page. Okay, we got this here. That's in there. I don't want to mess with that. That's a good writing place. This I thought would be pretty here. Because we've got this, which is in the pocket here. If you can see, there's the pocket, and this is in here. Isn't that pretty? So that, and it fit right down in there perfectly. I put a butterfly sticker, perfection. Oh, I didn't realize I used some of that washi right there. The same one? Is that the same one? It is, it's the same washi. Weird that I would, oh, well. And then this, if I can hold on to it, this was from that master board. Just put a piece of fabric on there. So I think that, I just thought with the kind of pinky, blushy, whatever kind of color we want to call that, it would look pretty there. But this is kind of heavy. I'm just trying to do so. Our glitter glue or Fabri-Tac. Hi, decisions. I think I'm going to go with the Fabri-Tac. I'm sure our glitter glue would hold it down, but I just want to make sure. Come on. Come on down. Join the crowd. All your other buddies are going in a journal. You can go with them. Yes, I do talk to my pages. Why not? Now that's the one good thing about getting older. And I'll say one. Because if it was up to me, I would have all stopped at 35, 40. You know, let's just stop here. So, is that I really don't care what people think about me anymore. I really don't. You know, I just don't care anymore. I mean, as long as I'm a good person, being good to other people, as long as they're good, as long as they're decent people. Oh, got stuff falling everywhere here. You know, I'm okay with being a good person, and I feel like for the most part, I'll say what's on my mind. I'm not a Karen. Don't get me wrong. Not a Karen. I think those women have lost their ever-loving minds when I see them on YouTube on some of those videos. I'm like, what are they thinking? It's like they got a little bit too much wine in the house or something else. They just crack me up. And some of these people are just like, ma'am, you just need to get out of my yard. That's all I'm saying. I've called the police. You just, wow, this is my yard too. Blah, 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 blah. I'm just like, didn't the police come and handcuff this lady? She was still going on. I'm like, there's something just ain't right, you know? Okay. I don't know how I got off on that tangent. But basically, I'm saying when you get older, who cares? You know, say what you want, do what you want. You know, it's your life. Like you say, you can live it how you want. It's just who you got to talk to at the end. I want to make sure I'm talking to the right person. Okay, so now I just got to feel this, and it should slide right in there. Oh, why aren't you going in? Oh, it's hitting the back of the... There we go. Yes, I got it in there. Okay. So, this is going pretty good. This one I decided to leave just as it is. I think it's pretty and somebody can attach something to it. This is a card that I did and put some pretty paper in here so you can write on there, put a picture on there. This is so pretty. I hate to mess with what she did on these. You know, you could take colored pencils and color these in. I thought about doing that, but I thought, no, leave it for whoever gets a journal. If they want to do that, you know. Then this is a guest check that this is dyed with avocado. For some reason, when you use avocado to dye paper, it turns pink. Don't know where that comes from. Don't know why it does what it does. It's science, and it has to do with what's in the stuff and all that. I did not do well with science. Just letting you know. Math and science, not my favorite. English and history were my favorite subjects in school. Because I like to write. I think that's got my love of journaling. And I love history. Like, I like reading about it and all that. Maybe because I lived a piece of it. I did. I went through the Cuban Missile Crisis. So, when I was 10, I think I was 10. For those of you who are old enough to even know what that was, Castro was putting Russian missiles in Cuba and threatening the U.S. with missile strikes. So, at the time, the president said, well, first of all, we need to stop allowing any ships to go in and out of Cuba. So they did what's called a blockade. And they put American destroyers and ships around the island and would not let any through. If they tried, they would sink them. And so none, as far as I know, tried to do that. But they also wanted to get the families. At any given time, there's about 2,000 civilian families on the base. It's not a very big base. It's only 45 square miles, Guantanamo Bay is. And they wanted to get everybody out. So the first thing they did was evac by plane the hospital patients and pregnant women. And then they got the families out. So I can remember, this is my piece of history. We were in school, and they came over this. And our schools were not like y'all's schools. The schools at that time were Quonset huts. And I know, what can I compare a Quonset hut to? If you're old enough to know the Jim Neighbors show when he was in the military, those domed barracks, that's a Quonset hut. So that's what our school was in. And they came over the loudspeaker and said, all students will be going home, and you are to get on your own bus. You are not to get on a bus with anybody else or get on someone else's bus. So we got on the buses, and they came through the neighborhoods, and it was, to this day, I can remember the sight when they turned the corner into my street. Every single driveway had one suitcase at the end of every driveway. It was the weirdest thing. You didn't see anybody out there. You just saw these driveways in a row with a suitcase at the end. And we're like, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Nobody would tell us. We were kids. Apparently, we weren't supposed to know anything. And I got in the house, me and my sister and my two younger brothers. There were 4 of us. I get in the house, and every single thing that was in our refrigerator and or freezer and or pantry was on our kitchen table. Every bit of food was on the kitchen table. And we're like, by this time we're getting kind of scared. Like, we just didn't know what was happening, and it was scary. Because our mom wouldn't tell us anything. And I'm thinking that will fit in there pretty good. No, I think it's going to be not the right size. I'm trying to find something to fit in there. It might fit in there. No, that's not gonna work. So, that's pretty. I can make a card out of it. Make something out of this and put it in there. Thought I had something, but does it fit in there? Look at that. Perfect. Yeah, that'll work. Anyhow, she had all the food out of it and told us to eat whatever we want to eat until we just couldn't eat anymore. So we did, and nobody was talking. It was just so weird. My dad wasn't there. I guess he was still at work. It was just my mom. And, you know, I'm not gonna lie, it was really scary because we had no clue about the missiles in Cuba. They weren't talking to us about that in school. But I found out later they were talking to children in schools in the United States, the continental U.S. They were having bomb drills. They were being talked about the Cubans and the Russians, the communists. All this kind of stuff was going on. And I'll tell you how that affected me later. So we eat, and then my mom says, okay, we're going to be leaving. We're going on a ship. I'm like, and of course, my brothers, my crazy brothers, they're having a heyday. They think this is a blast. This is like the funnest thing that's ever happened. You know, oh, now we're going on a ship. We're going to get to do all this stuff. So, yeah, that was my brothers. You know what? I need a pocket here. Oh, I made a pocket. Duh. I'm about to. But I was going to do it with this lace. So, she says we need to go, if you're full, we're going down to the end of the driveway. Apparently, we had to all be at the end of our driveways at a certain time because there were buses coming around to pick up everybody. So, we got on the buses, and they took us to the docks where the ships were, and oh, come on, don't stick. I hate when it does that. It gets gooey. Yeah. Let me get that off of there. Fabric glue fingers. So we got down there and we had to stand in the longest line. It was probably about lunchtime. So, you know, as kids, we were hungry. And it was all just mothers and children. Mothers and children, as far as you could see. There's about 2,000 dependents. So we get in line and we get assigned to a ship called the USS Upshur. UPSHUR. Which was a destroyer. So, again, my brothers thought that was the coolest thing ever. They were going to get to go on a destroyer, you know. And I'm just like, I just want to know where my daddy is. I was daddy's girl, so where's my daddy? I just want to know where my daddy is. And I don't think my mom really knew at that time where he was. And, which is, again, kind of, I can't imagine what she was going through. I talked to her about it later. And she goes, it was very scary. Because she didn't know she's ever going to see her husband again. Because they were kind of convinced that the base was going to get missiles sent over. Which was a very thing to believe because it very much could have happened. So anyhow, so we get on the ship and we are not high enough in rank to get up in the better cabins, or whatever, quarters at the top. So we were in the hold in the bottom of the ship with 300 other families. And as far as you could see, it was 4-tiered bunk beds. As far as you can see, it was like the quarters where the sailors would sleep. No privacy, nothing. And here you are with one suitcase, 4 children, my mom, and these bunk beds. It took us 5 days, but I have to tell you, go Navy, because that crew, those young men on that ship, they played games with us. They would sit down and eat with us. They made sure we had meals. They made sure we had snacks. They, you know, when we didn't have TV and internet back in that was in October 22nd, 1962, a day I'll never forget. And they were just amazing. My brother, though, he took one of the pillows and, oh God, my crazy brothers. One of the pillows were stamped with the name of the ship on them, on the pillowcase. So he grabs it and he says to my younger brother, Dan, he says, let's go play kickball with the pillow. We'll just kick the pillow around. So my mom says, go ahead, because where are you going to go? You're on a ship, you know, where are you going to go? So, and the sailors were watching everybody. Oh, this is so pretty. This is going to look, oh, that looks great. I love how that looks on that. Very pretty. Very pretty. And I added some liquid pearls on here in these places. So it's raised up. It's just really pretty. So they go up there, and Matt, he's 15 months younger than me. He's passed away now, but he was 15 months younger than me. He kicks this pillow overboard and starts screaming and crying. Of course, the sailors are running up to him. Are you okay? Are you okay? He goes, I gave the pillow overboard. They're going to think we sunk. So he was so worried that they thought somebody was going to find this pillow in the middle of the ocean and think that the ship had sunk. So they had to convince him that wasn't going to happen. They were in radio contact, you know, and all this. So he felt a lot better, but it was hilarious watching him. I'm like, you should suffer. You shouldn't kick that pillow overboard. Oh my gosh, my poor mother. So we, I remember that we listened to Kennedy's speech on the deck of the ship, talking about the base was being evacuated. All the civilians were being taken out. Took us 5 days to get to Norfolk, Virginia. That's where they took us. And this sweet lady had a rental property, and she donated that to our family to stay in. And it was furnished until whenever, I guess. And the school we went to was right across the street from the house. So that was kind of cool. But the issue that we had, this in here. Well, I think this kind of disappeared in there, didn't it? The problem that we had was that all the kids in the school knew we were from Cuba. So here's what happened to me. Okay. I'm 10 years old. 9 or 10, 3rd grade. I go to my classroom the first day. The teacher, this was when I put a little one of those things on. The teacher says, oh, we have a new student in class. You know, and I'm like, oh gosh, I'm the new student. You know, I didn't see any other in that particular class. And she says, she goes, I want you all to meet, at the time my last name was Busher. She goes, I want you to meet Carol Busher. She's a Cuban refugee. So what do you think the kids thought of immediately? What do you think they thought? This girl's a Cuban. She's a communist. I don't want her in my school. So, yeah, that happened. Oh, golly, I thought I had some. I guess I'll just have to find something else to put in there. Or I'll just do this one. I'll do this one. I think it does look pretty in there, coming over the top like that. Yeah. And her that. I think this is where I was going to put this. I'm pretty sure I was going to clip this over the top of this. Yes. So anyhow, I'm up there. She's calling. She says, introduce me as a Cuban refugee. Not an American refugee from Cuba, but a Cuban refugee. So all these students, all they wanted to do was beat the crap out of me because they thought I was communist. I was like, oh my God. This is my life, people. This is real life. You cannot lie about something like this, okay? You just can't. So I was the Cuban refugee. My sister, I'm trying to find a paper clip here. My sister is 7 years older than me and my brothers. That's a pretty color. I use that. So here she is. When it's recess time, they wanted to kill us. I'm going to kill me a communist today, so let's go after these kids. And so my sister was our guardian angel, and she got in so many fights. I'm not kidding you guys. These people, they were mean. You talk about bullies. They were mean. And I could not wait for school to get out every single day, and I would run across the street. Sometimes they would chase me, sometimes they wouldn't. And so, you know, I told my mom, and she would wait out there every day, watching, you know, to make sure we got home okay. But they never did want to talk to us or anything. And that happened, like I said, October 22nd, 1962. And we got to go back to the base. Everything got, I guess, taken care of like it did. We got to go back to the base the 1 week before Christmas. Which was I was so glad. Because to me, that was home. And I had to leave my kitty cat. I was so worried about my kitty cat the whole time. Oh, I forgot to tell you, my dad didn't get to come with us. He was contracted to the Navy. He had to stay on the base. He was an electrical design engineer, so if something went wrong, he had to be there. So there was that, which didn't make me happy. Again, daddy's girl. So he stayed there, and we got home the week before Christmas. I was never so glad to be back. And they managed to get a shipment of trees to the base. They must have had them sent there before, hoping we would be able to get home. And I had already done this pocket, so that's that. I added some trim in that. And we have this one. These cute little girls. But there was no decorations, no garland. We made garland out of popcorn. And my dad collected tin cans from friends, from some of the military guys he worked with. And we didn't even have a can opener, so he took a knife and cut around the top and bottom of every single one of those tin cans. And then flattened the edges so we wouldn't get cut. And my mom got her hands on some glitter and some glue, and we decorated the tops of those tin cans. I'm sorry. I can't believe I'm getting emotional about this. And that was our Christmas. We have a picture of us all in front of the Christmas tree. And of course, who was the sickest? Me, because I got measles. We get back, I get measles. Go figure. And that is like one of my best memories. Is it didn't matter what the tree looked like, just that we were all together. That's all I cared about. But it was such a pretty tree. And I know my dad probably cut his fingers half a dozen times decorating that, you know, those tin cans. So we got back home safe and sound, and then we were evacuated again. I can't remember what the date that was. It was a couple years later during the, what they call the Bay of Pigs. I guess there was another threat. We were gone for probably like 3 months. And at that time, now the first time we stayed in Norfolk, Virginia, where that school was. I never wanted to go back there to this day. We were in, at the time it was called DeLand, Florida. I don't know what it's called now. Maybe Edgewater, Florida. But it used to be called DeLand. I think somehow they merged townships or whatever. And that's where we stayed. Stayed in Florida. My parents loved Florida. I guess after years in Alaska, they liked the warm weather. And I left Florida in '76 and came to Georgia and been here ever since. But I did live a piece of history, and I have pictures. I have a picture of me. It's on my phone. I'll have to print it out one time and show you guys. Of me and my brother standing on the deck of the ship. I have this little red coat on, and the arms are way too long because it was October, and we were coming from Cuba. And let me tell you, nobody in Cuba owned winter clothing. So the Red Cross airlifted these huge, gigantic containers, bins of clothing, winter clothing, and we would just, my mom, when they would literally drop them onto the top of the ship, they would take the top off, and we would just dig in them. And I remember seeing that little red coat, and that's the coat I wanted. My mom got it. I love that little red coat. There's a picture of me in it on the deck of the ship. But that's my story. I don't think I haven't told that story in a long, long, long time. Because people today really don't even know, what's the Cuban Missile Crisis. It's just not something that people talk about, but that's a piece of my history. There's not too many people that can say that. They, but I know people have lived through other wars in other places. I'm not saying that have had it far worse. Right now, my heart goes out to the Ukrainians for what they're having to go through. Oh, I like how that looks like right there. That looks really pretty just right there. Maybe stick something in the side. Yeah, I like that. Or maybe I should just leave that for writing. Because it'd be pretty to write in there. Now I might do that because it's got a lot of decoration around it. So I'm just going to leave that. And I was going to put this here. Because I think that looks pretty there. So that's what I'm going to do. But it goes a lot faster when you kind of got it figured out ahead of time. Okay, so... Where did that go? Where'd it go? Oh. I'll put that there. You just smash down these staples a little bit. I always try to smash the staples down so they don't bump through the paper or there's nothing sharp to hurt somebody even though I'm covering it up. So then there's that. So, piece of my history. I mean, born in Alaska, moved to Cuba, moved to Florida, moved to Georgia. That's me. But I still have friends because I graduated down there. I mean, from 3rd grade through high school. Guantanamo Bay, Cuba Buccaneers. Oh, no. We were, our mascot was the Pirates. So we were the Pirates. Sorry, I got confused. The yearbook was the Buccaneer. Yeah. My graduating class, there was 32 kids. That doesn't tell you anything. It was like living in a small town. Oh, I just can't believe that made me emotional thinking about that Christmas. Okay, so we got that there. I was going to put this here. Do what you love, and that's what I'm doing right now. Doing what I love. That's going to go there. I wonder if I should put that there because it looks to me like it kind of blends in. I don't know if that's just my imagination. This is so vintage. It's got this raised up. I mean, you can see it's just kind of yellowed. Got a little stain there. It's like I don't want to do anything to it. It's just, in its simplicity, it's just pretty to me. So I'm thinking, it's too big for that. Oy, oy, oy. I can't believe I ran out of some stuff here. I do have, oh, that was, wow, that almost matches it, doesn't it? Doesn't really go with that though. Oh, fine. I think I want to put it on this page. Maybe this page. I could just do it as a flip. And then use this for a pocket. I might do that, but I'm not sure if that's the right page. The flip's going to go here. I was going to do this here, like I did on the other one. This might look pretty here too, as a flip. Yeah, man, I had this all figured out the other night. Oh, it's this tag. Little tag here. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to think about that one right now. Let's get the ones done that I know. I got that done. This I just might leave for writing. This, let's just go ahead and, that looks pretty there. I like the colors. Let's do it this side so it's easier to get the, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Yeah. It was an interesting place to live. When I got old enough to work, 16, I worked at the supply depot for the Navy, like a GS1. And I got to do supply requisitions for ships from all over the world. We had ships from Greece, we had ships from everywhere. You know, just, I can't even name all the places. France, because it was an international waterway. And still is in Cuba. To get to the southern U.S., there's an international waterway. And it's protected by the Navy. So that was a fun job. But I did work with some Cuban nationals. The government allowed probably about 40 Cuban nationals to come from Cuba through the gate, and it was literally a gate between communist Cuba and the base. And Castro, as part of his agreement, allowed, and they still do, his brother, allowed about 40 Cuban nationals every day. They would come in. Then the evening they had to go back. And they couldn't take any American products with them. If they did, you never saw them again. You don't know what happened to them. But you just didn't, they didn't take, you know what, that might fit there. Instead, oh yeah, there we go. Just didn't want to mess with that. This is a pocket right here. That's such a little guy. She might look really pretty right there. Yeah, there we go. And he, you know, he would tell me stories. He had a brother that was killed by a firing squad in his own backyard in front of his family. Just really oppressed people. From what I understood, you were either really rich and in with the government, doctors, lawyers, or you were super poor. And that's kind of how it still is today. You're the poor or rich. There's no in between. There's no middle class. And the rich got everything. And if you stepped out of line, you were shot. He said he had lost several family members. And I just remember that story, him telling me about his brother. He was really close to that brother. But you couldn't say anything because they'd shoot you and your family. I'm like, what a sad world, you know? Did you even have to worry about that? Sometimes people complain about the United States of America, and I just like, you do not even have a clue how good you got it. Now, there are other countries that are really nice to go live in. I wouldn't mind living in Italy or Switzerland or someplace like that. I really wouldn't, but there are a lot of countries that aren't that nice. So that looks pretty there. That's on some, oh, that's on the back of that. That's why it felt so sturdy. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. Let me check on time. I've been blabbing away. 57 minutes, so we got 3 minutes. 3 minutes. I think I'm just going to leave that like it is. And I believe I'm going to, I might just clip this one on here because it's got all that writing space. And then that way they can take it off if they want to write and then put it back on. Pretty little flip. Oh, there's so much. I want to make a whole bunch of these. Different themes or whatever. They're just really pretty. Okay. Oh, okay. I already had a little something to go there. Oh. I remember when I turned 18, because I turned 18 down there, even though it was American base, I couldn't vote. Because you have to own property or have lived in the U.S. for a certain number of years. And we had never lived in the continental U.S. And I was 5 years old before Alaska even became a state. I was actually born in the territory of Alaska. Now, if that doesn't age me, I don't know what will. Not many people can say that either. They were born in the U.S. territory. Well, Guam and Puerto Rico, you know, are definitely, but back in the day, they weren't even. So, yeah. I remember the big old party on the base when Alaska became a state. So, okay. That was the last page. And look at, I have this and this left over. This and this. So let me see. I like to stick that behind there. I have 2 pieces in there. Yeah, let's do that. And then I have, oh, 2 pages. So, oh, I got these pages stuck together. Well, I'm glad I did that because I have this to go here. I'm gonna have to make a, I'll do that before my flip through. I need to make a tag for it. I'm going to notice that. So, anyhow. So I am very much a patriot. But because we didn't own properties, why I couldn't, my parents had never owned property or lived in the continental U.S. long enough. And I hadn't lived in the continental U.S. or in the U.S. long enough myself to be able to register to vote. So, oh, I remember I was so upset because I was so excited thinking I was going to be able to get to vote. Then I couldn't. So, but I haven't missed an election since. So, I need to let that to stay open to dry. Okay, so it's done. All I gotta do is make a tag here. I have this little guy. I'll find a spot for it. So the next thing you see of this will be the flip through. So right now it's kind of, yeah, it's kind of gotten to be a beastie beast now. A gator mouth. Look at that. Look at that. Crash bang. That's what she looks like now. Remember what I showed you how flat it was in the beginning? I told you it was going to get bigger. That is, let's see, 40, 44, 43, what did I say? 96 pages. 96 pages. Because each page has 4 sides. And look at that. Isn't she pretty? I might find a couple dangles to hang from here. A couple little charms maybe. Okay. This Rosie here has grown. Yeah, my daughter and my son-in-law are out over at Friends, getting together. They took the baby. My daughter can't stay away from the baby for too long. Even though she knows I would take great care of her. Okay, so that's it for tonight. If you enjoyed my channel and enjoy this, and like I said, my next thing with this is just going to be I'm not even going to, maybe not even talk. Holy cow, Carol, not talk. But maybe just put on some music and I'm just going to flip through the pages, maybe pull things out. I'm not even going to explain them all because I've explained them all through the whole process. So you're like, I've heard enough of that. So there she is. Have a great evening. Have a great weekend. Hopefully I can get the flip through done tomorrow. If not, I'll get it done on Saturday. So peace out, everybody. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. Bye.